Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition, another episode, day 7 of albums that are 50 years old in 2021. My favorite albums of 1971, turning 50 this year. One for each day, 28 favorites. And each day including an honorable mention that I'm pulling from the group that didn't quite make the cut of 28. So there's really no random, it's a totally random order. I'm not ranking these at all. These are just, I pulled out, went through the entire list of what came out in 71, pulled out my 28 favorites. Each and every day I'm talking about a different one. Today we're taking a look at an album that came out February 19th, 1971. All right, on a label called Atlantic Records. Perhaps you've heard of them. Produced by the band, along with Eddie Offord. Okay, of course I'm talking about the Yes album by British prog rock legends Yes. Kind of a noteworthy album for a couple of reasons. First, this is the first album with a guy named Steve Howe on electric and acoustic guitar, replacing their original founding guitar player Peter Banks. Okay, it is also the last album. He would come back many years later, but the last album to feature Mr. Tony Kaye on organ and keyboards. He, of course, would be replaced by none other than Rick Wakeman for their follow-up album. But here on the Yes album, this, for many people, they had a couple albums before this one. This, for many people, was where the classic sound of Yes finally started to kind of take place. A lot of classics on this album. All right, kicks off with Yours Is No Disgrace. Nice long piece. All right, with incredible musicianship. Great guitar solo from Steve Howe on this. Just under 10 minutes long. Pretty notable song. One of my all-time favorite Yes tracks. Then, of course, you've got, Mr. Howe makes his presence known right off the bat with the short acoustic instrumental, The Clap. Okay, or Clap, I should say, not The Clap. Let's not mistake those two here. Then, of course, you've got another epic track, Starship Trooper. One of the perennial favorites among the fans. Another nearly 10-minute long song. It's basically, broken down into 3 parts. You've got Life Seeker, Disillusion, and Worm. Okay, Worm is that kind of repetitive ending, anthemic part of the song. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. It's like, but it's it's classic Yes, right? Over on the second side of the vinyl, all right, you've got the big hit from the album, which is I've Seen All Good People, broken into 2 parts, Your Move and All Good People. Another perennial radio hit. Another, that and Roundabout are probably the 2 most, popular Yes songs of all time. Arguably, you could throw another couple tracks in there, but as far as like radio play, especially in the 70s goes, and especially from a song that's probably played at every single Yes concert, for decades. And then, of course, the album finishes off with A Venture. And the highly underrated song Perpetual Change. Really frantic song. Great Hammond organ from Tony Kaye on that. Nice guitar riffs. Of course, the rhythm section of Squire and Bruford working overtime. You've got wonderful John Anderson vocals throughout this album. This is a absolute classic from Yes. Absolute classic from Yes that, I think if you talk to most Yes fans who have been following the band for many, many years, it's a top 5 Yes album of all time, easily. Okay, depending on where you rank it. But, so that is my pick of the day. All right, from 1971, the Yes album turning 50 this year. Wonderful stuff. So, my honorable mention, another great album that didn't quite make the cut of top 28 for me from 1971, but a really, really great release on its own is Hunky Dory from Mr. David Bowie. This is right before the Ziggy Stardust era, a little bit right before, and musically it fits in pretty well with that era. Some great tracks on here. Again, classic stuff from David. Changes, Oh You Pretty Things. What else? You got Life on Mars. Oh, what a great song that is, right? What else? Quicksand, Andy Warhol's on here, a song for Bob Dylan, Queen Bitch. All sorts of other great tracks on here. This is a very strong album that kind of, really introduced that kind of folky singer-songwriter David Bowie from the early albums moving into the glam era. All right, a lot of good variety on here. A couple of really big hits. He would get even bigger on the next album, right? But this is kind of what set the stage for Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars and Diamond Dogs, that whole period. Great stuff. There he is on the back. Can you see that? Yeah, there he is. So that is my runner-up, another really good one. Didn't quite make my cut of 28, but it's, it's a spectacular one. I totally dig it. 1971. I mean, geez, let's just stop for a second. I know we've hinted a little bit here and there on this series, on these shows, but when I looked at that overall list of album releases in 1971, it's pretty staggering. All of the legendary bands that had legendary albums in this year, and even like some of the more obscure bands had great albums this year. I've gone on record before saying probably 1969 through 74, thereabouts, probably some of the greatest years ever in the history of rock and roll records, album releases, songs, all that sort of thing. Just some great stuff came out in those couple of years. And 71 might arguably be the best. So interesting, we decided to do this show this year in 2021 to talk about albums that turned 50 years old, when 71 arguably might be the best out of all of them. Okay, it's difficult to say. Because like I said, 69 and 70 are both spectacular. 72 and 73, amazing. But 71, man, some really good stuff. So you know the drill, everybody. So in the comments below, list your pick of the day. Okay, another album from 1971 that's turning 50 that you really like that would be in your top 28. And feel free to throw in an honorable mention as well. A lot of good dialogue going on between all of you in the comment section over the last week, which is really good to see. A lot of really good picks. A lot of folks are going for the ones you would expect. There's a lot of people too who are pulling out these cool little obscure nuggets that were released in 71. So it's good to see all of that. And we've got plenty of days to go. Right, we've got over 20 days to go here, so I've got a whole list I'm working on each day, so I'm very interested to be unveiling them all for you as we kind of move to the end of February. So for all of you, my friends here in the U.S., if you're a football fan, enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. I personally could care less. I'm not a football fan, but I know so many folks are, so enjoy the day, getting ready for the big game tonight. Otherwise, if you're not, have a great Sunday. We're expecting more snow here in the New York area today and in a couple days, so this is kind of the winter we haven't had for the last couple of years, a lot of snow. So what else is coming up on the channel? So later this morning, Rich Catino joining me for brunch here on Sunday morning. We are going to talk about our favorite 10 tracks, favorite 10 songs, 10 gems from U.S. heavy metal veterans. Armored Saint, that's coming up later today. Tomorrow we've got Hudson Valley Squares live. We've got a live show tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss it. Set your calendars. Join us for the live show. Live chat room will be going on so you guys can converse with each other. You can ask us questions. We do have a topic. We're going to be talking about our favorite guest star appearances on albums and songs over rock and roll and metal history. So that's coming up tomorrow. So we'll be talking about that and answering some of your questions. So we'll see how long the show goes. I'm guessing it's going to be an hour, 60 to 90 minutes at least. But it depends on how much fun we're having. So we'll play it as we go. We'll play it by ear. And so that's happening tomorrow night. We've also got, I've got a big interview scheduled for Tuesday evening. Stay tuned for that. I'll be announcing that on the Hudson Valley Square show tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And all sorts of other stuff happening this week. Martin Popoff and I are doing part 2 of Perfect Albums next Friday, this coming Friday. So stay tuned for that Friday morning, and all sorts of other stuff happening this week. All sorts of other stuff. So stay tuned, and we'll see you all then, right? www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.